All right, YouTube, we're back. We're back. The season's about to start. And we're talking about Commanders. First day of training camp coming right around the corner. Monday, baby. Monday coming up here, but everybody's in town. Everybody's coming in. Everybody's greasing the body and ready to go. But before we start talking about the Commanders in the first day of training camp and what we feel these first couple weeks team needs to accomplish, I'm going to introduce my main man, Deacon, my main man, Trey Z. They always with us. They Commanders fans for almost 100 years all together. We added all together, we Commanders fans for 100 years.
We got 150.
102.
So we're going to talk about all things Commanders today. Fellas, what we always say, let's get it.
Let's get it.
In DC, the K Corps, dirty Cadillacs, Desert Eagle cannon blast. Watch your back. DC, it's taxation with no representation. Half the time the government out on vacation. And projects they still freebasing. Youngest need a leader mission nowadays. I got a call to Mason. Stop slumps in the summer. Youngest on the corners be runners. Out of towners be straight up corners. In DC, the K Corps, dirty Cadillacs, Desert Eagle cannon blast. Watch your back. Even the hood rats keep it real where the hood's at. Swing a wooden bats at your so-called cats. You know how
We're back. Start of the camp, baby. Camp time, baby. Camp time. You get that smell in the air, the heat wave out there. Get that sweat, get ready to put them shoulder pads. I get that sense. Woo, I'm ready, baby. I remember those days when camp about to start.
Real camp. Goodness. This ain't no summer camp. This is real stuff.
This that summer camp, baby. That's 2 a days, baby. 2 a days. Y'all remember 2 a days?
Start hitting.
Oh my goodness. Suicide.
Sun ain't up.
Suicide's real, baby.
Whoa.
Sun ain't up, but you are. That's what's happening.
Hey, yo, we from the Hill, baby. We from Oxon Hill. We played for the Clippers. We don't never represent the Clippers. We used to have 2 a days. The first practice was at 10. The second practice was at 4 o'clock. In the heat of the day, baby. In the heat of the day. That's what we did in the 80s, baby. We didn't go.
And we didn't get no water.
We couldn't drink no water.
Hey, look, we got fancy. They gave you the PVC pipe and the water was squirting out. You had to get on your knees.
Man,
So you out there with
you
your
thought passing
strap.
COVID was bad. We was.
Hey, man. Hey, and some reason, man, back in the 80s, man, that heat didn't bother us, man. Man, now I go outside at my age now, man. I'm out to 10 minutes, man. I can't make it.
You go outside out?
I can't make it after 10 minutes.
Hey,
I
man.
walk down the street and that's it.
Pearson wasn't joking back then, boy.
Yeah, Coach Pearson. Hey, Coach. Miss you, baby. Miss you, Coach Pearson. Yes, baby.
2 out of the 3.
Hey. Which two?
I just say which one.
Which two?
Hey, man, I used to enjoy that, man. That was the start of football season. It was the start of school. You know,
Yeah.
it started everything, man.
This time of year, man.
Once you start hitting, man, that's the one thing you wanted to do is to be able to recover before 10 o'clock that morning.
The next morning.
Because you was hitting, man. We was hitting back then, boy.
We was hitting. Whole practice, baby.
Live, man.
It was live. The whole practice was live.
The
Think about it back then. The whole practice was live.
Because nobody got cut. Nobody got cut, so everybody was running drills, man.
Everybody was running drills, baby. Hey, man, but nowadays it's different. The young man's be out there with the shorts on for the first 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? With the socks. They're going to have a little vest thing. I don't know what that thing is, but they be wearing that thing around. They be wearing that. The heart monitor thing. They're going to be wearing that. And they're going to be having 10 water breaks, ice baths, and all that good stuff. But nonetheless, allegedly, we still looking forward to the NFL season. And this year, we got some major things that happen during our summer camp here, our summer training right here. Carson Wentz got to get comfortable with our wide receivers, our offensive line. Mm-hmm. It's a brand new quarterback, and he has to get this offense rolling. Deacon, what do you think about our offense this year coming up, and what Carson Wentz has to accomplish during this summer camp here, this summer training camp?
Well, y'all know I'm excited about offense, man. I think Carson Wentz going to tear it up this year. I think on his third lap, you know, he understands that, you know, you got to throw the ball away. You got to slide. You got to do all that stuff that you don't do as a young man. You want to put your head down and run somebody over as a quarterback. But this will be his first time. I know they went out to California and threw some balls, but this is actual, football time where he's going to be thrown to his new $250 million receiver. So he has a little time to get straightened out with that. But our offense, man, we loaded on the wide receivers. We loaded in the backfield. We finally got a quarterback that is at least better than somebody we picked out of the classroom. So, I don't see anything. I'm excited to see the first.
What do you think we got to work on, though? What do you think we got to work on during this camp?
Well, I think it's just going to be about timing. I think if Scott Turner figures out what this cat can do, whether he can throw the ball, whether he can dump it off, whatever his skill is, man, and run the offense around that, I think just getting together as a team, working together, getting the plays down, because it's a new offense for him, so he has to learn new stuff as well. But I think he is. All quarterbacks know how to learn a new offense, because all of them, get drafted, get traded, get all that stuff. So everybody has to learn a new offense. They all really pretty much run the same as far as how you call them. It's just a matter of whether it's a Z or X or where they place their terminology at. But what I would like to see us work as a good running offensive line. If we can run the ball, I think that we're going to have a lot of opportunities to score a lot of points, because I think the safeties aren't going to be playing up as tight because they finally got a quarterback that can throw over the top. We got receivers that can go downfield easily 4-4, So if we can run the ball, that's going to bring them up on the back end, and then we can throw over the top. It's going to be easier to run when they sitting back because they scared of us throwing over the top. It's like that we have a good a mesh between good running backs and good wide receivers, and it's all going to rest on Carson Wentz, and that's just the biggest thing you can say. It's going to rest on Carson Wentz. I don't know what Chase Young is going to do. His injury, it could be catastrophic. Who knows? They took a little bit off the right knee to put on the left knee, which makes both knees weak. Who knows, man? But I think we can run the ball. We can put some points on the board, and we don't have to worry about the defense shutting everybody down every game.
Trey Z. What do you think Carson Wentz doing this training camp needs to work on, and the offense in general needs to work on during this summertime training camp? They got 4 strong weeks of training camp coming up in the heat. What they need to work on?
Deacon did that.
Oh, that's cold.
Your dog did that.
Hey, man, I think that Carson Wentz's biggest thing that he needs to do is to establish that he is the leader of the team. He has to develop a camaraderie. He has to develop confidence with not only his teammates, but also the coaching staff. I thought I wasn't going to find a way to bring it in, but it just brought back. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet, make sure you check out the Pivot Podcast, Pivot Pivot Podcast, or Ryan Clark's podcast. I believe a lot of the players that are on there, Fred Taylor and somebody, what's the other guy's name? But they left Brandon Marshall's podcast, I Am Athlete. He started this one.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I'm just happy to be flipping through YouTube, and they had Jamarcus Russell. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because Jamarcus Russell, when he was talking, he was just talking about being a quarterback and not feeling like he was wanted and how he felt. And you could hear it in his voice. He still, to this day, is upset about it. It wasn't necessarily all the other things that we thought, but I'll let you guys watch for yourselves. Excellent interview. And is only one of his only, if the only interview he's ever done. So if you haven't had a chance, check it out. And tell him that DMV Sports 3 sent you. But anyway, with that being said, one of the things that Jamarcus Russell touched on was that confidence from the coach. Does Carson Wentz have that just because he paid him the money? Jamarcus Russell was the number 1 draft pick. Got paid a lot of money. He said he's living comfortably right now. He's not broke at all. But they just did not give him the opportunity, or it seemed like from his stories, now that's his one-sided, that he didn't get a chance. I want Carson Wentz to have a chance. I want Carson Wentz to be accepted by everybody. And that is when we'll be able to see what he can do, because it's more than just throwing the ball over the field. You're a competent professional quarterback. Came out just like everybody else. He's a veteran. He's not a draft pick. I expect him to do things. I don't hope. I don't wish. I expect him to do things, which is the reason why those coaches paid this guy the money, because they watched him. They thought that he could do what he could do. So you come in here and you do it. But now your biggest thing, sir, is to instill confidence into those receivers. So I love the fact that they went down, was in Texas out. They went down there and they was throwing the ball. I love that. That is a beautiful thing. Now he has to make sure that he endears everybody and takes charge and commands, excuse the pun, the offense. Commands it to the point where no matter if we win or lose, we're okay, because we could see that. We haven't seen that in a while. I think Alex Smith was probably the only one that came close. Alex Smith had a command of the offense, it seemed like. Now, he could do but so much, but he had a command of the offense. Heineke never really got the whole command of the offense. He did what he could do, but he did it on his own shoulders. He didn't command the offense. And, rest in peace, Haskins never got it. Never had it at all.
Never had a chance to.
And there it is. Therein lies what I'm saying. I hope that the organization represents differently on the field in their craft than the organization is representing outside. So I hope that is totally different. And that's what Carson Wentz and the players and the coaches have to all put aside and focus on the craft and make sure that they put the best on the field, quality players, period. And that's what Carson Wentz. And I know we were talking about Carson Wentz, but I'm talking about leadership support. Starts right there.
Well, I heard you, Tracy. The quarterback has to be the leader of the offense. I totally agree with you on that one. One of the things they've been discussing is that Carson Wentz is at his best when he has good protection, a good offensive line and good protection, double tight. They're talking about doing double tight ends, like Deacon was talking about earlier, running that rock and then throwing deep with 2 tight ends and everything. So I think our tight end position is going to be key and very important. That Carson Wentz has a good chemistry with our tight end position. Whoever plays tight end, we don't know yet.
I think they announced this week, Al, that the rookie's going to start.
Oh, okay. So there you go, right there. So we look like we got.
They did say that the other rookie, not the rookie. They talking about John Bates is going to start. The rookie is going to play a lot though.
Okay, so John Bates, a second-year player, is probably going to start, and that tight end position is going to be really key with Carson Wentz, because he needs. Apparently, when you put a lot of pressure on Carson Wentz, he tends to get a little happy feet and not as accurate as that we would like him to be. Second question. That's everybody. That's everybody. That's true.
To a point.
To a certain degree. Second question, though, for you, Big Deacon, is the defense. Now, there's a dude named Bubba McFarland or something like that. Plays Booger McFarland, whatever, for ESPN. He made a comment about one of our defensive ends that's injured right now. Yeah. But I want to talk about the defense as a whole. The comment that he made was that he thought this year, if Chase Young was healthy, that he was going to get over 20 sacks and over 10 forced fumbles or forced fumbles. If he was healthy, he was going to get over 20 sacks and 10 forced fumbles. Now, I thought that was a stretch, but Deacon, let's talk about the defense as a whole. What did the defense need to do for this summer camp, and how can Chase Young fulfill that prophecy, or can he fulfill that prophecy?
Yeah, I doubt it. That's a hard bell to ring, man. 20 sacks. That's a lot. I mean, he compared him to Myles Garrett, and Myles Garrett hasn't even had 20 sacks. I think 16 was his highest.
Yeah.
So 20 sacks coming off a catastrophic injury like that, and he's not even going to start game one. So I doubted that. He's not going to get that. Let's just be honest. He's not going to get that. All we can hope for with Chase Young is that he comes back healthy and is able to make it through the season healthy. Because with an injury like that, he hasn't had time to work on his craft. He hasn't created any new moves. He hasn't done any of that. He hasn't had a chance to practice against anybody. His new moves, if he's making up any. All he got right now is a bull rush. So I'm just wanting him to get through the season healthy so that next year he can start to progress as a player. That's what is going to happen because nobody really comes off of a knee injury like that except for Adrian Peterson and plays like a demon. That's 20 sacks is crazy amount of sacks. But I mean, it's not out of bounds though, because it's an extra game in the season. 17.
Well, Watt had 22 sacks. I think Watt had 22 sacks.
Huh?
Watt had 22 sacks last year.
Yeah, but I mean that was crazy too.
CJ Watt, he had 22 sacks.
CJ Watt, yeah, that's for Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Yeah, he had 22 sacks.
Yeah, so that's not his future. Right now, we're just trying to get him through the season. A defense as a whole, I'm hoping that the move from the middle to the outside with Jamin Davis will click in because that's his natural position. We're hoping that Holcomb is able to run the middle. Buffalo nickel, I'm assuming they're using
Cam Curl
or to fight against these fast
tight ends.
So it's like the offense too, man. I mean, we have the people in key positions to do the job. Obviously, St. Juice is coming in at nickel. They say they like him at the Buffalo nickel too. So all in all, the whole team just needs to gel. You know, everybody needs to be able to play their position and play it well. Don't try to do extra. Don't try to do somebody else's spot and all that stuff. The best defense is when you're doing your job and everybody else is doing their job. If the defensive coordinator knows what he's doing and able to put you in the positions to be successful, then you have a successful defense. So if they can gel as a defense and play their positions the way they're supposed to be played, I'm assuming that Jack Del Rio knows what he's doing. Then I expect them to have a good year. It's going to be definitely better than last year because we stunk it up last year. We lost some key people in positions. But, you know, that's what camp is for. That's what this 4-week pressure cooker is about, finding out who can play that position. You know, summer camp, what they came off of a couple weeks ago, that was just getting people in shape, finding out the rookies knew what they were doing and all that stuff. This is about real football. We're getting set up to start playing preseason games. Like you said, next week is the Hall of Fame game. We get to see Jacksonville for the first time. We don't get to see, their starters most likely. We're going to see a whole bunch of backup players. But can Doug Peterson still coach? Does he still have it? Was he a victim of circumstances where he won those Super Bowls because he was going in with one quarterback and the other quarterback ended the season? So the defense has to gel. That's the main thing. That's, like I said, that's the main thing about all camps, man. When we went to camp, it was about gelling when we got home. When we went to Pennsylvania and had to go through summer camp and all that stuff and sleep in the dorms, that was about getting healthy. You know, that was about getting in shape. When you got home and started going through your offenses and your defenses with your coaches and all that stuff, that was about finding out who can start, who can come second, and who can come third. That's all it's about. Pressure cooker. Now we're going to find out whether, you can play in uniform as to playing in shorts.
Trey Z, now 2 years ago, we had a number 2 defense in the league. The number 2 defense in the league. Last year, I think we went back down to 24, 25 or something like that. So what's the real defense, Trey Z? What's the real defense? And what can we accomplish during this defensive camp coming up here? What can we accomplish during this summer camp on our defense? What's your opinion, Trey Z?
Once again, it goes back to who's going to be the established leader in the defense. Who is the leader? if Holcomb's the mic, is he going to be able to establish the confidence with his players to call the play, to call the audibles, make sure that the coaches trust him to do that? Don't vanilla the defense to the point where we are still stuck in that, soft middle. I'm hoping that Deacon is right with Jamin Davis, but we do have the pieces on defense. We still got our Pro Bowlers on the line. We just picked up another defensive player. I mean, and Deacon keeps reminding me, half of our defense went down last year. They're called coming back, i.e. St. Juice and what's that? Big Williams. What's his name? Tall corner.
Jackson's coming back. St. Jude.
So these are players that I hadn't seen. So really, honestly, it's just about now going. If there's anybody that has to gel the most, it's the defense, because they really have played together. We had a makeshift crew that we had to build upon last year. So I'm happy to be middle of the pack. We at 20 even. That's great. I like for us to go up, versus being at the top and disappointing as it was that we thought we were going to have. Chase Young is an integral piece because I think he's all of that. He's a phenomenal athlete. He is will be a devastator if he comes back healthy, but he's also a leader. I mean, I didn't see anybody else really step up into that position. I would want to see that. Somebody who's, when the team is really out there not playing well, somebody step up and slap somebody upside the helmet and say, man, get your head up, man. We got to get out here and play, man. What's wrong? They better than us? Tell me that. I mean, you got to get your team sized up to the point to get on the field, man, play for pride. And you get those interceptions and fumbles and things because they out there flying to the ball because not because they're trying to win the game, but because their teammate called them a punk. And they're like, oh yeah, and they go take it out on the other team. It happens. So I hope that's what we get. Go ahead, Deacon.
I was gonna say I would like to see Jonathan Allen step up into that position too. I mean, he's a man off the new contract. Huh?
It makes sense, but sometimes it's when it comes to leadership, man. Sometimes it's just you be surprised.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm just saying that's what I say. I would like.
Yeah, I would love it. I would love it
because somebody on the line who is in the trenches every down. That's somebody you want leading your team because he's fighting.
Yeah.
So if he gets upset that somebody ain't fighting, it ain't him.
Well, in that Dallas game when he smacked old Payne around, that was that was a lot, right?
And I never really got what the whole story around with that, but if it was that was needed. It just didn't translate when they got back on the field. That was the problem. They got to take that energy to the field and demolish, and then at the end slap hands as they standing over the quarterback unconscious. You know what I'm saying? That would have been beautiful, but they didn't translate to the field. So we got to get that extra step. Aaron Donald.
Let me ask you
he
this.
Said Aaron Donald recently, a stat I didn't know, that he was 99 rating in Madden for years.
That's what I talked about.
Trent Williams got 99 this year.
Yeah. Trent Williams got 99 this year, but Aaron Donald 6 years in a row.
Yeah,
the people are saying he's not losing a step, man. 6 years.
For the now, while we talking about this, talking about John Madden, who's the highest rated commander?
Now?
Terry McLaurin, right?
No.
Who?
You know Tracy? Plays on the defensive line.
Yeah, Allen.
Allen. Yeah, Allen, yeah.
Allen's a 92. I believe he's a 90 or 92, something like that.
I saw that.
Chase Young? What do you think Chase Young is?
87.
He's 80. He's 80.
Yeah. 80?
Yeah. He didn't play last year. So.
But no. There's so many players who didn't play last year that got like
he's number
running back. And
he's number 28th in defense, I think.
Yeah, Chase Young really wasn't lighting it up before he got hurt either. So
he was rookie of the year. What are you talking about?
No, not last year.
Still, that in Madden that don't translates. I mean, he was rookie of the year. He got hurt. So really, he didn't get a chance to even see his sophomore season.
Didn't he get hurt in like game 5 or 6?
No, he got hurt game 9.
That's a lot of season.
Yeah. So, who is the highest rated offensive player?
Terry.
I mean, I thought Terry was.
Yeah, Terry's highest weight. Terry. What do you think our running back came in?
Oh, well, I don't know. Probably low.
I
They don't
give
respect our running back.
He was in the 70s. 72, I think it was.
It's all them fumbles.
See,
Fumblerisky. That's what it is.
As a whole, our team is rated pretty low. You know, we're not one of the
as
top
usual.
teams. As a whole,
I mean, that ain't new. We haven't had a high.
I didn't have faith in the Commanders.
That's to be expected, man. We haven't been lighting it up since even when we won the division, we were 7-9. So we haven't won a tremendous amount of games in the last 3 years with Ron Rivera. So this year is going to tell the tale. I'm just saying, everybody's on, like I said, everybody's on the hot seat this year, man. Everybody.
Okay, the last topic that we're going to talk about today is the Jacksonville Jaguars and Detroit Lions. Both teams, I watched 2 little highlight shows of both teams. Both teams had stats and are guaranteeing a win. I think we played. That's our first 2 games, I believe, too. Apparently, we haven't beat Detroit in like 6 or 7 years.
We think they have been coming in here.
They've been in the bottom of the barrel, but they seem to beat us every time.
Yeah.
And what? Before you go into that, that's what I was saying about Carson Wentz. They complaining that he couldn't beat Jacksonville at the end of the season. But you know who else didn't beat Jacksonville? The last 6 quarterbacks that played for New England, not New England, but Indianapolis. They lost to Jacksonville 6 years in a row. So it ain't, that's a victim of service. Go ahead. That was just
So Tracy, what do you think about that? Our first two games, I believe it's Jacksonville and Detroit, which we have counted as a win. I think we all have counted that as a win.
Win.
They're saying on their side, guaranteed win too.
Right. So I'm just being real. I'm a fan. But I'm critical. And if they're looking at what I see and what we at times, we go into the game, we all excited. We there early. We watching the pregame together and all of that. And by second quarter, we cursing each other out because we're mad at what we seeing. And so if they're watching, if they're taking the time to study the films or whatever like that, I can see a lot of teams looking at us like, this is a pushover, because this is what Deacon just says. Mr. Turner now has to open past chapter 2 of his playbook and start to open it up. Del Rio is going to have to look at his talent and scheme up some D, man, that is going to shock what they already expect. Vanilla. I mean, vanilla wafers with vanilla ice cream, and you know what I'm saying? While you sitting next to a vanilla scented candle, man. I mean, it's just, it's just no fun.
We do need to blitz more, though. We need.
I don't want to hear from either one of y'all. Y'all joked me for the last 4 years.
We didn't have anybody back. Now everybody's in place. So we should be able to blitz more.
So we all got to just make sure that we hope, man, that these guys stay healthy, man. We are due to have a year with the team that's healthy. We can never do that. And I don't understand it. We just can't. I watch other teams. It's like, for example, in our division, Philly. It's like, I think they're all on steroids, man, because they never hurt. They always come to our stadium, man. We look at the injury list. Is ball boy, Frank Finger. That's it. And we got the whole 7 players out. 2 of them are starters and all of that. So it's crazy, man. I just hope that we can just stay healthy and compete. Al, our defense has to, just.
But Trey, we know that we don't have the number 2 defense. That's not where we at right now.
Oh, no, we're far from that.
So we know that. So we're gonna have to do both offense and defense. Deacon, before we leave, I know the Go-Go's playing in the background now. I know the Go-Go's playing back there. But before we leave, Deacon, answer this question for me. 2 keys for beating Jacksonville and Detroit, the 2 teams that were supposed to win to start the season. 2 keys for both teams as the Go-Go's playing. I know the Go-Go's
one
playing
for each team or one for both teams?
One for one, but one. What key is it for Jacksonville? And what key is for Detroit?
Jacksonville, we need the blitz. We need to upset this young boy. Get him off his game. He's a good prospect. I haven't seen much out of him, but he doesn't need to start. I mean, this first game of the season. If we can blitz this guy and rattle his cages where he's throwing quick and then letting our corners do their job, then we deserve to lose. You know?
That's the key for Detroit.
Detroit is still going to be our defense, but I think on Detroit, I think we're going to be scoring a lot of points on Detroit. A lot of points, and that's going to come down to Carson Wentz. You know, they said that they trying to compare Carson Wentz and what's the boy in Detroit? What's his name? Golf. Jared Goff. They both came out at the same time.
Yeah, they did.
And they're trying to say who's going to get the 50 wins first. Because they both got the same number of wins. So listen, that's the key. Defense on in Jacksonville, offense on Detroit. We should be able to run down.
I know you're hearing that go-go, Tracy. I know you about to shake them hips. I know you're hearing that go-go. But give me two keys to win this game.
What we talked about before it came on.
Hey, man, I can't take anything away from that. But I'm going to double down on D. I think that the defense this year, ladies and gentlemen, has to define themselves. We have to now know that are we going to be a defensive squad that is nasty at playing defense, man. And there's a way to be aggressive, Big Al. I mean, there are teams that always stunk up the place, man, but their defense has always been known to be good, you know, because that's all they had. And you know, I think of Tampa Bay before, you know, the GOAT got down there, man. I mean, that's what they had. They had the defense, and that was what it was. But they stunk. But their defense, you had to play them in order. You know, a field goal is going to beat us, not by 20. So what I'm saying is, if we can get our defense to realize, hey, you know what? Instead of us saying it, they say it. You know, we're pretty damn good. We could do this and play like that, Al. Two defensive themes with Del Rio sending one blitz a game. I think we can beat them. I don't want to
for you, for both games, it's about our defense defining themselves. For you,
yes, sir.
Games. All right. Well, guys, we got to get out of here, but I'm going to give you my two keys real quick before we get out of here. I think the first game, Deacon, I'm going to go a little against you, Deacon, a little bit. The key is the 3-deep zone. Sit back in the 3-deep zone and see can this guy beat our zone. Is he poised enough with our four guys coming around the corner, and now every once in a while blitzing, so every once in a while, sit back in our 3-deep, and can he beat Jack Del Rio's 3-deep zone? That's the key to the game for the first game. In the second game, I agree with you, Deacon. It's going to be who can score the most points. We should be able to outscore Detroit. We should be able to outscore Detroit. That's going to be key to get our season started. We're practicing right now. We're in the heat right now. We're practicing our zone coverage. We're practicing our zone blitz. How we're going to do our zone blitz. And right now, Carson Wentz is getting familiar with the team. So, y'all, we want to get ready to get out of here. Trey Z, Deacon, man, we love y'all, YouTube. Watch us, subscribe. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook. We out there. Look out for our Wizard Show, too, baby. Look out for our Wizard Show. We see y'all, baby.
All right. Hey, Juan Soto. Holla at me, player.
Stay, Juan.